wake up and welcome to another episode here for the Funk It Pod. It's Monday and you know what it means. MMA Monday, while I move closer to the microphone, MMA Monday in the house. And while it has been a UFC-free weekend, kinda sad, it has been a very active weekend in other promotions around the world. So let's quickly look at what happened there and what stories came out of this. As always, not just recapping what happened because that's what you get on other programs. So also looking a little bit at the stories behind it and what stories are we getting out of it? And the MMA martial arts weekend started off on Friday as per usual, one championship, Friday evening, Southeast Asia time. So wherever you are, I hope you followed along at some point. So the main fights here on the card, the most important fights in my opinion, were probably, while I'm looking at my notes, Jared Brooks mauled Hiroba Minova in the first bout on the main card, strawweight MMA. Jared Brooks, like really intense, nicknamed the Monkey King, I believe, really intense, came in, mauled Hiroba Minova. I think they're ranked like 4th and 5th or something in the division for, I don't know how the rankings of one championship work, to be honest. But yeah, so Jared Brooks was dominating the fight. Minova tried to throw stuff in the end also. Then there was like Jared Brooks had him against the cage in round 3, and it was just inadvertently threw a low blow, like a kick to the groin, I believe it was a kick. 20 seconds to go, so he was saying, oh no, he's gonna take the no contest or something, but Minova didn't do it. He recovered and then went for the last 20 seconds and threw like 2 flying knees or something, tried something, but it was a clear win, UD for Jared Brooks. Congratulations. I don't like this arrogance, like I'm gonna bash everybody like you, because Minova didn't do anything to Brooks. Like why would you just pick a random fight and go crazy? In the lead up to it, they almost got into a fight in the hotel as well. So I don't know what's wrong here. Doesn't really fit the one championship like martial arts honor respect thing, but the performance in the cage was more or less impressive. Taking into consideration that Hiroba Minova won, so Jared Brooks of course calling out everybody like I'm taking the championship belt. So he's gonna get a higher ranked opponent next, I believe. Let's see if someone can shut him up. For Minova, back at the end of the line, of course. Nothing much to talk about story-wise here just yet, because it was just basically the beginning for Jared Brooks' journey in one championship. But this was kind of impressive. So, looking forward to what he does next and like how he faces off against someone a bit higher ranked with a bit better wrestling, maybe, because he was just out wrestling Minova all the time. We had Hiroki Tetsuka, and I'm going like this, like you don't see it if you just listen to the audio. I was shrugging my shoulders against Edson Marquez because Tetsuka kind of like out-strategized Marquez. Marquez being bigger, apparently the better boxer, but Tetsuka was landing his jab for a while. Like then in the 3rd round, Marquez slowly found into it, but then Tetsuka landed a counter right and just knocked him out. Like just, was it a right or left? I forgot. I think it was actually maybe just a counter left hook. It was just a counter to Marquez moving forward and just knocked him clean out. Again, like Marquez was supposed to be the better striker. So this came as a bit of a surprise that Tetsuka wins via striking. But he's a machine, like he's the Hulk. So if he connects, then it's good night, Irene, to just, if you watch one championship, you know what I just did. So Tetsuka has been around forever, but that propels him like a little bit higher now again. So let's see who he can fight next from Marquez. It's the second loss now in a row, second fight in one championship, second loss, I believe. So time to recuperate and then see what's next, I guess. Like the next fight is gonna be a tough one because it's gonna be probably make or break at this point. Now let's talk about the 4 most important fights on the card. Yeah, it's actually 4 really cool fights on the card. Radio Pacic from Serbia versus Francesco Chaya. I'm sorry, man, from Albania. And Francesco Chaya, like he's jacked. He's like in great shape. But I mean, Rado, but if you ever seen Rado Pacic, I mean, he's He's 2 meters tall and just goes like he's just jacked, and he throws spinning shit and all those stuff. It's insane. And Francesco, he was like in it for like a minute or so and tried to hang in there, but then Rade Opacic just did what Rade Opacic does, which is like just mauling people. Like, I mean, not MMA, it's kickboxing, right? So, but he's just like spinning stuff and then just jab, kick, jab, kick, jab, kick, jab, like very basic stuff, and then throw the spinning kick in for good measure in between. But like, like jab, high kick, then again, kick to the body, jab, high kick to the body. Like just some basic stuff, like, but really, really fast, really well placed, and was a TKO win in round 2. Like Francesco just couldn't withstand it anymore, and it was. The first round was almost over, but in the second round, like Francesco was like, he was just done. Like Rade Opacic is a force. It's just insane. I don't know who can match this force in heavyweight kickboxing right now, to be honest. Like, especially for one championship. Maybe in Glory there would be like some competition, obviously, but like in one championship, I don't know who can withstand Rade Opacic in one championship heavyweight kickboxing right now. So next year, get the next higher ranked guy and just keep marching. Like, insane performance. Not much of a story. Francesco's first fight for one championship, so he's gonna recover. They're gonna give him someone else, because he did try, like even when he was almost out, he did try to swing for the fences and so on. So he didn't go out without a fight. He just couldn't withstand Rade Opacic. And for Opacic, yeah, again, I mean, nothing much of a story. Just give him, then feed him more. If you've been a wrestling fan, kind of like Ryback back then, feed me more. Like, just give someone to Opacic who, I don't know, is faster, stronger, and you can't find it. It's, I don't know. He's just gonna keep marching until he holds a belt. I think at this point, that's the way it looks. But let's see. Then we had a lightweight fight, MMA, between Ruslan Emil Begulu and Zhang Lipeng from China, and it was like lots of bad words before. Like, you're boring. No, you're boring. Actually, they're both not boring, because they're both swinging for the fences and trying to knock their opponents out. What they did before, but this fight just started, and then like Zhang like just just knocked him out like right away. Like, just sat him down, knocked him out. That's it. Like with the first or second interaction of the fight. So that was a bit anticlimactic, but of course a big win for Zhang Lipeng, who's now gonna be propelled into like title picture rather soon, I believe. Lightweight is also pretty stacked in one championship. I think it's one of the more stacked divisions, but he's gonna now be in there somewhere, like the top 4, top 5. So I'm sure, like, usually the turnaround in one championship is way faster than in like Bellator or UFC. So I think we're gonna see him rather soon again, to probably cement his place in the top 5, or like to be in line for a championship fight. For Ruslan, I don't know. He didn't look great here, but then again, it's like a one-punch knockout kind of thing. So it's like, okay, got caught, got overzealous. I'm sorry, I'm German, you know it. So yeah, let's see where this takes him. Then the most disappointing fight on the card, the co-main featherweight kickboxing World Grand Prix semi-final, just like the main event. It was Smoking Joe Nadawat, who's residing in the US, but is of course Thai, versus Chingiz Alasov, and Chingiz Alasov just lit Nadawat up. So Chingiz Alasov took the smoking away from Smoking Joe Nadawat. He just let him be like Joe Nadawat now, because this was, a great performance by Alasov, but Nadawat looked like he did not want to be in there. Like 3 knockdowns, oh no, I think there's 2 knockdowns, second knockdown, Nadawat just sat on his butt and didn't even try to get up. He wasn't knocked out, he was just sat down and he sat on his butt. He's like, no mas, that's enough. So, very disappointing by Nadawat. Great performance by Alasov though. So he's in the final now. He's gonna face that's the story that comes out. The story also here that Nadawat looked like he really didn't care, didn't want to be in there, didn't try. So I know what's next for him. If I would be the promoter here, I'd be pretty disappointed by the lackluster performance of Joe Nadawat. But then again, Alasov just overwhelmed him, of course. The main event was David Kiria versus City Chai. And here City Chai didn't knock Kiria out, but put on a 3-round clinic on Kiria. Like, UD at the end, there was no doubt on who won that fight, because City Chai just he just outclassed David Kiri. David Kiri didn't show anything, and even like David Kiri had Rade Opacic in the corner, like Kiri from Georgia, Opacic from Serbia. It's not even from the same country, so I don't know how that alliance came to be. But Opacic tried to tell him what to do, but Kiri looked like, and of course he would kick my butt, right? But he looks like me in sparring when I fight someone who's just much better than me, and you're just like, don't hit me too hard. And that's kind of like how David Kiri like looked like. So for the audio listeners, I just put up my hands in front of my face and just trying to like protect me with my guard so that I don't get knocked out. And that's kind of like how David Kiri looked in that fight. Sidichai was just teeing off on him, and also like just the basics, like jab kick, jab kick, jab kick, jab. Like, and he said it before the fight. Like he said it's gonna come from the left. I'm gonna just kick him with my left leg, like all left kicks. I'm just gonna maul him with left kicks. And that's exactly what Sidichai did, and David Kiri did not have any answer. He tried to swing a few times, but mostly like 80, 95 or 90% it was just all Sidichai in this fight. So congratulations. The final of the featherweight kickboxing World Grand Prix now will be between Sidichai and Cengiz Alasov, who both dominated their respective semifinals. Alasov via KO, Sidichai via like clinic UD, clear UD decision. So this should be fun. That's also the main story that comes out of here, because there is no real background story to the whole thing. There is no bad blood right now, even for the next pay-per-view or the next big event, because it's not pay-per-view, so on championship is called Bad Blood. More on this next week. But for now, so that's the main story. Featherweight kickboxing World Grand Prix final Sidichai versus Cengiz Alasov. So this should be a great fight. It's gonna be like, can Alasov overwhelm Sidichai too, or is Sidichai just too smart and can out-strategize Alasov? So it's going to be very interesting. Alright, so that was the Friday in Asia, Friday evening, and then Friday evening in the US, I believe. The first US event by Eagle FC, Khabib in the house. Khabib, a really busy man right now. Last week won championship, now Eagle FC, and then Bellator as well. So Khabib everywhere, and without being offensive to or offending anyone, but let's just only talk about the co-main and the main event, of course. The co-main way more funnier with the return of Rashad Evans, who did look in shape. I disagree with Michael Bisping a little bit, who was like, Rashad Evans looked like great and fit and fast, and yeah, he looked in shape. He didn't look that fast in my opinion, and his opponent also wasn't that fast. Like, but the performance was great. It was enough. His opponent caught him like once on the ground. He reversed it. Bit of ground and pound there. So Rashad Evans definitely won this fight. So congratulations to Rashad Evans. But if they would face him off against like one of those hungry Russian dudes that you see on Eagle FC usually, I'm not sure if I want to see that. They should keep like matching him up with like others his age, his skills. Because if there's like another like Dagestani wrestling specialist, that he might just like take him down and just maul him on the ground. So, but it's great to see Rashad Evans back. He did look good. He didn't look like an old guy just doing this for the money. He did look really good. So congratulations, Rashad Evans. And it's nice. He said he wasn't sure whether or not he still had it, and he had some thoughts during the fight whether or not he still had it. But so he still got it. So congratulations here, Rashad Evans. Just hope that his future opponents will be picked smartly there. Also no big story yet, because he's not the trash talker kind of guy, of course. Main event, Tyrone Sprung, as Henry Cejudo called him, versus Sergey Kharitonov. No surprise. It was just surprising, like that Sprung didn't have anything to offer, like nothing in terms of takedown defense. Like Kharitonov just went for it, took him down, mauled him on the floor, kept him on the ground, and then that's it. So it was pretty disappointing. It's surprising how easy it was. I think we expected a little bit more of like resistance from Tyrone Sprung, I believe. So Kharitonov just did what we know Kharitonov could do, even though he's quite old by now, quite big. But I mean, it was still enough for him, so congratulations there. I don't think there's much more to say to this. No championship aspirations or anything in sight for any of those. It was just a nice start for Eagle FC as a free stream also in the US, so it was a nice event. The The commentating team for and the moderators and the interviewers like Henry Cejudo did a good job, surprisingly. So not bad. I think if he does it more often, he will really come into his own. Like needs a bit of more training or like experience in terms of like breathing patterns and so on, I believe. But he's gonna be okay if he get shoes that are high enough. Chael Sonnen, of course, fantastic on the mic. Anyways, Kamaru Usman had some good insights, but he's not the greatest talker. But like, he's okay. Like he knows stuff, of course. So that's quite nice. And then Khabib, of course, is still always great to have. So yeah, there was a nice combination there. So well done with the panel before, and then the interviews and the commentaries. So that was quite nice. Of course, Chael Sonnen, just the master of everything, like bringing everything together. So just fantastic. Good job there. Way better than what happened Saturday in the US for Bellator. Yeah, because the commentary really like Big John McCarthy is just like he just soaks out all the energy. So yeah. So but let's focus on what's happened in the cage. We had the main event was Bader versus Moldavsky, and we had as a co-main event, of course, also Benson Henderson back in action again, which was nice. There was a good fight. So the co-main Benson Henderson as well as the main event were two good fights. Benson Henderson versus Islam was pretty fun because they both went for it. In the end, it was a split decision for Benson Henderson. And again, I'm not just recapping stuff here. Mamedov took him down, like also went for it on the floor, of course, but also they did strike at some point. Was a split decision, so yeah, I can't complain about this. Good job, Benson Henderson. Now the story coming out of this, like they're ranked 6th and 7th. I don't think that Mamedov loses lots of rankings here via the split decision here. Henderson said there was his last fight on his Bellator contract, and he knows that he underperformed in his contract a little bit. He used to get lots of money from Bellator, but he's not sure if they still want to pay him lots of money. And then in the cage, he was like just like high-fiving, kind of like Khabib, and he's like, hey man, my contract ends today, so maybe I should come and talk to you guys. And Khabib was like, yeah, sure. So let's see about this. But yeah, so I do think Bellator is gonna try to re-sign him. I'm not sure if they're gonna offer him like all the money that he wants, but he's still one of the bigger names for Bellator, so why wouldn't they want to re-sign him? The main event, then Ryan Bader versus Valentin Moldavsky. Bader rocked him like right from the start, and you thought, oh, okay, what's happening now? But then Moldavsky recovered very well, turned it into like a bit of a wrestling, and that's what we had for the next few rounds. In the last round, Bader landed some heavy hands again, like one or two, but also lots of wrestling in between again. But overall, Bader did do enough to get the nod here, I believe. So congratulations, Ryan Bader, undisputed champion. And now they line him up against Cheick Kongo in Paris in May. And that's the story that we take out of it. They also had Cheick Kongo there, so face off in the ring, which is in the octagon, which is a fun idea. But if you have John McCarthy there, it's like, there's just no intensity. Get someone else. Seriously. Maybe even replace McCarthy with Josh Thompson. I don't care by now. But this is just like, not that exciting what he's doing there. The Big John McCarthy. So he knows a lot, yes, but yeah, it's just soaking out, or like, is it a word? Is it how to say it? Soaking out. It's just not. There's just no intensity, no excitement there, which is a bit sad, I believe. So yeah. Anyways, it's gonna be Bader versus Kongo 2 now. So let's see how this goes, of course. Bader did look better than I expected, to be honest. Like from the last time we saw him in the I almost said ring, in the octagon, to now, it does look better. So yeah, and I mean, Cheick Kongo, I don't know. I'm like torn on Cheick Kongo, to be honest. Like he's got all the tools, of course, to be fantastic. But I mean, he's also a little bit older right now. But I root for the older guys, of course. But then it's also just nothing much has ever really happened for him, like when it counted. You know what I mean? So, I'm not sure what we should be thinking about here or of here. So, yeah, I'm torn, to be honest. But well, this at least it's gonna be a rematch, and it's gonna be in France. So maybe that adds some extra, I don't know, pizzazz. Is this a thing? Pizzazz, like some extra tension to it. Like, hey, it's Jack Congo's home country. Let's see what's gonna happen here. Maybe he can take out Bader and become the undisputed champion. So let's see about it. It's not lots of animosity there, but I believe like not like crazy, like I hate you animosity. So shall be fun to see. The next event for Bellator is not next week. I think it's the week after, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to talk about this in the next MMA Monday to see what's going to happen there, as we're coming closer to a few interesting fights again on the Bellator roster, I believe. All right. So that's it for like what just happened. I know there's not too many crazy stories. For some reason, it seems like the most drama is in the UFC, right? It's like there's not that much drama in Bellator. One championship. Maybe that's good that Jared Brooks is there now, so maybe he just adds a little bit more drama to it. But yeah, there's not much drama in all the other promotions. Also Bellator, I'm just looking at like, is there any drama in Bellator? But as long as Dylan Dennis isn't tweeting, there's not much happening. So, and yeah, I saw like a nice tweet that like Don Fry and Chael Sonnen beat 6 more people than in a year than Dylan Dennis in his whole career or something like this, which I found very funny. Okay, let's then quickly talk about what's going to happen this coming week, of course. On Sunday, the UFC Fight Night. And let's just talk about the main event, of course. Jack Hermanson versus Sean Strickland, the crazy person. Yeah, I mean, Strickland is on a run right now, right? So, I mean, Jack Hermanson is always so nice in interviews, so it's just hard to judge, like, how he's gonna perform. But maybe like getting bullied by Khamzat either motivated him or maybe it broke him a little bit. So I don't know. I'm leaning towards Sean Strickland, who is also a big favorite, I believe, with a -210. So I do think Strickland is just on a run right now and probably just puts it on Jack Hermanson. It's like, you know, he's got his personality right now, his persona, and now he has the hype behind him, like that crazy person that runs through people, and now he has to like live up to it. And I think he has the pressure, and I think by now it's not too much just yet. So he's like training harder and harder because he wants to prove that this persona works. But a little bit like Colby Covington when he came out with like this weird persona. He's like, okay, now I'm like that part my French ass, so now I have to really go for it. So yeah, looking forward to this. I'm picking Sean Strickland, and then if he wins there, then taking Jack Hermanson's number, like number 6, maybe even like higher, depending on how the others fight. So then be ready for the Sean Strickland trash talk, shit talk with like the top 5 in the division. That should be fun. All right, looking forward to this. Wrapping things up right now. So that's it for this week. As always, like, share, subscribe, rate that thing because then others find us, and then we can have bigger discussions, of course. Yeah, don't forget to stay safe, take care, keep your guard up, and I'll see and talk to you next week. Sawadee Krap.